The distress beacon was weak, barely registering on the sensors of the Confederation monitoring station orbiting Valera Prime. Communications Officer Tilrith almost dismissed it as stellar interference until she noticed the encryption pattern, Terran origin. "Impossible," she whispered. "Humans didn't venture this deep into the outer reaches. Their homeworld Earth was classified as a Class 12 Deathworld, and its inhabitants were concerning." The Confederation had diplomatically suggested humanity remain in their own sector after the incident at the Trade Summit where a human child had accidentally broken a Valerian dignitary's exoskeleton during what they called a friendly handshake. But the signal was unmistakable. A human colony ship, the Perseverance, had been captured by the KRYN Syndicate, slavers who operated in the lawless zones between Confederation space. Tilrith forwarded the information to Confederation Command with a simple note, ** recommend immediate diplomatic notification to Earth. Human civilians in danger, **. The response came 3 days later. Not from Confederation Command. From Earth. The first sign was the gravity distortions. Every sensor array within 15 light-years registered the anomalies simultaneously. Then came the ships, hundreds of them, tearing through hyperspace with a violence that suggested their FTL drives were designed by engineers who viewed physics as a challenge rather than a limitation. The Terran fleet arrived in the Valera system like an iron fist punching through silk. Admiral Kuznetsova's flagship, Moscow's Fury, was a behemoth that made Confederation dreadnoughts look like shuttlecraft. Her transmission broadcast across all frequencies, "This is the Terran Expeditionary Fleet. We've tracked our people to this sector. We're here to bring them home." The KRYN Syndicate's fortress station orbited a dead moon, bristling with weapons and confident in its remote location. Their leader, Scratch, laughed when he received humanity's demand for the colonists' release. "Deathworlders," he hissed to his crew. "They're far from home, in our territory. What can they?" The Moscow's Fury fired once. A single tungsten-depleted uranium slug, accelerated to 0.3 C, struck the station's shield generator. The resulting impact released energy equivalent to a small star-going supernova. The shields didn't just fail, they evaporated. "Surrender our people," Kuznetsova repeated, "or we demonstrate what a species that evolved dodging predators, surviving plagues, and splitting atoms for entertainment can do when we're angry." Scratch looked at his tactical display. 300 Terran warships surrounded his station. Each one was built by a species that had clawed its way to the top of a planetary food chain so hostile that 99% of galactic worlds were classified as safer than Earth. The Confederation monitored the situation with growing horror. Not at the Syndicate's predicament, they were criminals. But at the realization that humanity had just crossed into alien domains with a military force nobody had known existed, following a signal across hostile space because some of their people needed help. 20 minutes later, the Perseverance colonists were aboard Terran ships, medically treated and safe. The Syndicate's fortress was an expanding debris field, its entire leadership having made the fatal mistake of harming humans. As the Terran fleet prepared to depart, Kuznetsova sent one final message to Confederation Command: "Our people called. We answered. We'll always answer. Remember that." Tilrith watched the human ships vanish into hyperspace, their exit signatures leaving ripples in spacetime that would take weeks to settle. The galaxy had just learned an important lesson: Earth didn't need permission to protect its own. The Deathworlders had a fleet, they knew how to use it, and most terrifying of all, they cared enough about each other to cross into any domain, face any enemy, pay any price. Humanity's signal had been heard. And the galaxy would never forget the response.